So I decided to renew my time as a Disney annual pass holder. The Pixie Dust Pass is still available for Florida residents, so I went ahead and purchased one. Now, as before, I wanted to use a lot of different gift cards and different mediums of payment, so it's complicated. It's not as easy as it used to be. Well, it was never really easy. But anyway, I went ahead and I made the down payment on the card, and then I was going to pay the rest, the balance, in person. Now, as I understand it, I could have gone to one of the theme parks and gone ahead and used the system there by going to one of the gates and actually finishing it up that way. But the problem was I didn't have a physical card that I could use to show to get through parking, so I'd have to pay for parking. Supposedly some of my old passes would have worked, but I couldn't find them. I don't know what I did with them, so I put them somewhere. I don't know where I put them. But anyway, so I decided, all right, I'll go to Disney Springs and I'll go to the I think it's the ticket center I go to actually pay the difference and get my card. So I went to the ticket center, talked to a nice lady. She booked me an appointment for like 10 minutes later or something. I got in, I talked to the guy at the register and he's like, no, you need to go to guest services. So here's the thing, that's the ticket center right there. Guest services is right here. So it's literally across the way from it. So this is guest services, this is the back entrance to guest services. You go around the other side to get in. But I made the mistake of going to the wrong one, so then I had to go back to guest services. He was nice enough to book me an appointment. And wouldn't you know, the lady who waited on me in guest services was the same lady who checked me in when I went to the ticket center. And she's like, oh, sorry, made a mistake, whoops. So it's okay, it's not that big a deal. I did wind up getting my pass, so I do have my annual pass in my hand and I can head over to a theme park now. I do have a reservation. That process was interesting of getting the reservation. You know, just going through the process of actually picking out a day and a time that I could go. I booked and rebooked and canceled and rebooked and did all these different things to try and get one for myself because I knew when I was planning on coming and then it changed. And as I told you before, it was kind of hard because I had all these different things that I'm doing and to be able to come is really complicated sometimes. And so I tried my best to pick a time and a day that would work. And I finally picked one, and then because I had to do this extra step of getting the tickets, it's now almost 11:45 or so, and I'm just finishing this process up. So, but I'll head over to a park now and have a little fun. I've got my reservation with Epcot as my first park to return to Disney after 2.5 years. For me, 2.5 years is a very, very long time. I don't think that's ever happened. So, you know, post-pandemic, we'll see what it's like in the after time as opposed to the before time. I've heard a lot about it, but now we're going to see what it actually is like. So just to clarify a little bit, the lady who was helping me was very nice. It was really no problem at all. It just took longer than I thought it should have. But it worked out okay. I wound up getting my pass. I was able to get in the Epcot toll booth. And the funny part is, the guy just looked at the pass, he didn't scan it, so I theoretically could have gotten through anyway, I guess. I don't know if I'd have talked my way through, but I didn't know any better, and I wanted to make sure I paid off the rest of my pass, and I would have had to wait here either way. So it worked out all right. So I'm here in Epcot. It's my first time coming back in a long period of time, and you know, there's a little hesitation, there's a little trepidation. The company is certainly different than it was before, but I guess I'll see how it goes and how I feel about it as I go through whatever I'm going to do. I'm going to take it easy. I'm only here for a day this time. Going to take it easy. I'm going to do Epcot, and then later in the day I'm going to go ahead and park hop over to the Magic Kingdom and kind of celebrate the 50th anniversary since I didn't get a chance to do that before. But that's it. That's my plan for today. And other than that, I think I'm good, and we'll just go from there. So come on with me as I head into Epcot. Talk about an inauspicious beginning. I came in and I had already said that I was going to be in Epcot in the My Disney Experience app and had said what I wanted to do and picked out some things that I wanted to do. And I get in and it turns out that I can't get an internet connection. And I'm assuming it's because of the number of people that are here and what's going on that I can't get into it. And it looks like, oh, they've blocked this off completely. You can't go around this way. And they don't tell you that. That's dumb. All right, so I got to go around a different way. Okay, well, that was fun too. So strike two for this morning. So the Flower and Garden Festival is ongoing while I'm here, and that's really great. It's kind of fun. There's a lot of food. It's something like the Food and Wine Festival, though maybe not quite as extensive, but still pretty fun. But here's something interesting I hadn't counted on when I walked in. wasn't thinking, you know, I've been here so many times and eaten so much food and had such a great time. But since I was last here, I've moved to being mostly vegetarian. I will eat some fish sometimes, so I guess you could qualify it as pescatarian, but I don't eat any animals. I don't eat anything with a face, is what they say. And it makes it interesting. You know, I walked around and I was like, oh yeah, I got to challenge myself to think a little differently, because there were dishes that they offered that I've had before that I won't eat anymore. And I just thought that was really interesting as I stood there and looked at it. I'm like, oh wait, I don't eat that anymore. Just kind of a funny thing. So I did wind up getting myself a nice tuna tataki. That was very nice. It was a great dish. Kind of gave me a little belly full moment, and it was very happy. So that was kind of neat. But just funny how I hadn't even thought about it. You know, it didn't even register with me until I was looking at the menus, and I was like, oh yeah. You know, not that I forgot that I didn't eat meat, but just that I kind of forgot about what all the food is and what it has. I didn't really look at a menu or anything before I came, so it was just a moment. Anyway, just thought that was interesting. There we go. So I just passed the American Adventure, so I've already passed Morocco and France and Japan. And in front of me here is Italy coming up right in front of me, and then to be Germany right after that. So there you go. And we can flip the view around in a minute here. I'll just turn like this, and there you go. There you go. There's the other one in front of us. Yay! So I spent a couple of hours in Epcot, had a really nice time. I did ride Soarin', so that was the most important thing. Otherwise, just kind of wandered around. I did eat some other food. I found some vegetarian options. There are lots of them. And now it's time to head over to the Magic Kingdom. Well, how does one get to the Magic Kingdom? There's really only one way. Of course, I could drive my own car, but this is more fun. Definitely more fun. All right, here I am at the Magic Kingdom. So it was about 50 years ago, come spring, when I first made my trip to the Magic Kingdom. I was not there on opening day. I was there a few months later, which would have been about now. So this is my 50th anniversary of me heading into the Magic Kingdom. So little me would have run through those gates like a wild man. No, probably not. My eyes were probably about the size of silver dollars. And I was really excited to come in. And now here I am back again 50 years later in the same spot. And I've been in this park thousands of times, and it's just a remarkable place. Always will hold a special place in my heart, but here we are at my 50th anniversary, and that is actually kind of cool in its own crazy way. The first time I came in, I'm pretty certain we went through the left side, but just to be different, because it's the 50th time, 50th year, I'm going to go through here and actually do it this way and go through the other side. So I don't normally go through this side when I enter the park, but this time I am. There's something about going through the other side that's iconic to me, but that's okay. I'm willing to try this side just to be different. Nope, not the same. I mean, I know it's the same, but it's not the same. But here I am. I'm in the Magic Kingdom. Back for, wow, the umpteenth time. Couldn't even tell you how many times at this point. It's been so many. It's crazy. But it's all awesome in its own way. Here we are, doing our thing. Must be time for the flag retreat ceremony. That's coming up shortly here, I assume. Yeah, it's funny, I still walked around to this side just to do what I always did. Little me would have been like, my parents would have been taking me along trying to show me something and tell me how wonderful it was, and they were right. It really sparked something in me that for the next 50 years I would be talking about Disney World, and for the last 10 or so on a podcast. And it's just amazing to me what it grew in me, just what it inspired in me just by coming here that one time 50 years ago. Anyway, what are my thoughts today? Well, overall it's very crowded, and that takes some getting used to, just the number of people that are here. It's amazing how many people are here and how many people have decided to take their vacations again, and that's great, but wow, is it crazy? I mean, it's just so busy. What do I think about coming here during a pandemic? It's weird. It's just strange. I mean, I know a lot of people don't care and do whatever they want to do, and that's fine, but I'm still thinking it, right? And there's still people wearing masks and still people around. So it's a strange time to be here in that sense. The whole reservation system threw me off when I started to try to find a reservation.
Progress City was the inspiration for Epcot, and many of its forward-thinking ideas have been realized throughout Walt Disney World.
And we're back. So it's strange having to go in the standby lines. It's very much like it was in the old days of the park where everybody stood in the standby line, except for the fact that they're selling tickets to not be in the standby line, and so it changes the nature of the standby line. So it's just weird. It's just very strange. So all the muscle memory I had about how to get around the park and what to do and how to plan my day, all of that goes out the window. None of it matters anymore. It's like a whole new place to come in many ways. So it's really weird. I don't know quite what to make of it exactly in that sense. It's just very strange. So overall, I'm enjoying myself, but it's just a weird sort of a day, and I'd like to come back and try it again. And the changes that have come are just so foreign. Everything's just different, and some of it's very subtly different. There are some things that are very subtle. You know, everything's the same, looks the same, it has the same trappings, but it just feels different. The thing I noticed was coming back here after not being here for 2.5 years and not being out and doing things all day, every day. You know, I used to be able to take on the park and, you know, get up in the morning and, you know, take on the park for 12 hours, 14 hours, whatever it is. I just find that I can't do that. And partly it's me, as I've gotten older, and partly it's because the muscle memory around that has gotten different too. So it's a little interesting. It's always something. As far as people are concerned, I've seen an interesting mix of people here. Mostly everyone was well behaved. I've seen a couple people here and there that were maybe a little bit less well behaved, but overall, I would say they were doing it. It was pretty good. It was pretty standard as far as that goes. All right, I decided to leave the Magic Kingdom, and I worked my way over to the Art of Animation Resort, and I'm taking the Skyliner. And I just wanted to share, I'm wearing the mask when I'm around people or, indoors. So I've decided that's my strategy. So when I'm in a crowd, I put it on, and when I'm indoors. This is actually my second favorite form of transportation behind the monorail. Monorail still will rank number 1. So anyway, in summary of my day and the things that I did, I enjoyed myself. I did. I always have enjoyed myself when I come to Disney parks. The thing is, things are just different. The world is different. In the before time, I knew exactly what to do, how to manage myself, where to go, how to get there, how to manage the whole FastPass system, whatever. And now we're in a whole new normal. I can't quite figure this out. The reservation system is weird. The fact that you have to purchase Lightning Lanes or Genie Plus if you want to ride certain attractions or have a chance at riding them is kind of weird. You can go old school and go standby, which is great. But the problem with going standby is that you take a chance that there may not be an ability to get on something, or you may wait an inordinate amount of time. I was standing by the Haunted Mansion, and I noticed it was 35 minutes when I was walking over there, and it jumped up to 55 minutes when I got there. 55 minutes times. And I gotta tell you, the park was insanely crowded. I mean, just like ridiculous, over the top. There wasn't like a free space to move into anywhere that I found. And that was crazy. So, it was just a little off-putting. Look, we're still in a pandemic. I'm still wearing the mask at times. People can say it's over, they can move on. I get it, but I'm not ready to do that yet. So the Skyliner, we reached the station, and in the next vehicle, I had somebody in the car with me, so I decided to just wait, and I'd finish the video as I got here. So what I was thinking about was, the park was so ridiculously crowded, it's crazy. And then when you think about all the things that they have, the reservation system, that's really impossible. It's so hard to figure out how to get a reservation. And it's kind of hard to get one sometimes. And I guess that goes along with being crowded. And then you've got the thing about actually getting in to see some of the attractions and just how hard it is to see them. It's a real challenge. And, it's my muscle memory after 2.5 years is just hard. Being out and seeing things and actually engaging in things and spending the time outside and with a lot of people around and just the general nature of Disney and overall, and with the pandemic still going on and with all the heat and everything else, it just feels like it's a little overwhelming, and it's going to take some getting used to again. It's not that it's hard or bad, it's just going to take some getting used to. Now I see why people complain about Genie, and I heard a lot of people complain about Genie as I was walking along, and I see it. You know, I personally didn't care how much I rode. I wanted to see a couple of things, and I got to see a couple of things, not all the things I wanted to, but if I was willing to wait a while longer, I probably could have seen more. But I was fine. I was happy with what I saw and what I did, and I enjoyed myself. I had a good day. It was nice to come back and kind of partake in it again. And I spent a few hours, you know, here, and saw 2 parks, and now I'm going to head out, and I think that's going to end my day. But I'll be back, because now I have the annual pass again, so I'll be coming back again. So there you go. That was fun, and I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed coming along.